Hey everybody, and welcome to Hexaled Gaming. I'm Scott, and I've got a match of X-Wing 2nd Edition for you here on Tabletop Simulator. This match between Wonny on the left and Cory on the right. This is a standard, quote-unquote, version of X-Wing. We are using as many of the new rules for X-Wing 2.5 as we can fit in here. Some the dev said specifically, and some that we are inferring in our blocks and bands. Joining me, Maui, how you doing?
Great.
Fantastic.
Super excited.
Let's talk about these lists. We've got 2 4-ship lists, and in fact, do we have 3 small bases and a medium base? There's a little bit of symmetry here in these lists.
I like it. I like it. There's some art.
Indeed. We've got Hera, Heff, Thane, and Jake, a 4-ship rebel list. No repeated chassis. On the other side, Obi, Ahsoka, Jag, and Oddball with ion missiles. Let's see. Oh! It's a Sabine Wren bounty. Boy, I should really read these lists before I start the match. Yes, this is a bounty match. Wonny going for the Sabine Wren bounty. In order to claim it, you do have to actually use Sabine Wren to get rid of a stress or strain. So who's the target for stress removal, do you think? Or maybe there are multiple. Jake, an A-wing with vectored thrusters. Definitely a good candidate for stress removal. Stopping
Hera
Heff
herself.
Tobber.
Yeah, Hera herself, Heff. There could be some synergy there with.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about anybody except for maybe Thane doesn't really need it that much.
Yeah.
X-Wing.
I think that's what I've seen during this bounty month is like relying on one person, one ship to be stressed and in position to use Sabine is not great. So having multiple ships in a list who maybe will be stressed when you get the stars to align to make Sabine Gunner work. Yeah, maybe having multiple of those ships will help.
I think the Gen Ors, the double Gen Ors is like a cute way to build a list, but I also feel like you've just got a fragile Rube Goldberg machine at that point.
Yeah. So, let's talk about what you have to do to pull it off. You have to shoot a special weapon, so on Hera, that's going to be an ion torp or the sync laser cannons. You have to deal a damage card to the defender, and then a friendly ship at range 0 to 3, so that helps.
Yep.
And it can be yourself, it's not another friendly ship, needs a stress or strain to be removed.
Yes. So Hera can do both because she has the stabilized S-foils.
Yeah.
So she could perform a torpedo attack and then a cannon attack.
Yeah,
And
and
if
you do have
both
to
of
do
those
the
attacks, yeah,
you have to do the cannon attack second, right?
correct.
Okay. Because
It's
the only reason I would
bonus
do it the
cannon
other way
attack.
is you can deal a damage card with ion torps, but it's only one.
Mhm.
So if you could strip shields with the cannons, maybe you would do that first, but can't. So
So you're shooting up oddball basically. You're trying to do it,
or
to
or
start.
later game somebody else, but yeah, without the shield, that if you're purely laser focused, tunnel vision, let's get this Sabine Gunner thing done as fast as possible. Shoot into the unshielded torrent, put a damage through, rid someone of that stress or strain.
Exactly.
Hey, gas clouds in 2.5 are guaranteed strain now, right?
Yes. Yes, that
Okay.
was one of the things that they talked about. They wanted to make sure that every obstacle had a guaranteed effect and a roll effect.
Yeah.
The guaranteed effect for the gas cloud is that you take a strain if you go over it.
So when they were explaining that, I was like, they were talking about how it was streamlining the effect. And I didn't get it at first, and I was like, this doesn't seem less complicated than the other version, but it is. It's a damage on a rock.
There's more effects, but it's still a little easier to understand because it's always going to be those two things. Something definitely happens and something maybe happens.
Yeah, so it's the strain on the gas cloud, the damage on the rock, the stress on the debris. And we're used to those for those specific obstacles.
Yes.
And then it is always a dice roll. And it is always hits and crits that matter. It is no longer eyeballs on the gas cloud and crits on the debris and hits and crits on the rock. It is always hits and crits.
I think that makes it a little bit simpler. One of the things that's confusing about the gas cloud was the hits and eyeballs thing.
And you can't shoot while atop any of them, right? It's not.
Correct.
You can shoot from two of them, but not the rock. It's just.
So we actually have all three obstacle types present. All three base obstacle types present in this game, so they're all really relevant right now.
Yeah.
So yes, if you overlap, which means that your base is on the cloud or on the obstacle after movement, you skip your perform action step. You can't perform an attack while you're overlapping the obstacle, and that's true of all obstacles. If you move through an obstacle, so your base doesn't overlap it, you suffer the effects, but you do not skip your perform action step. So you can fly directly over an obstacle now and still perform an action.
Yeah. That's something they talked about specifically in regards to gas clouds, which break locks now as well. But they talked about risk reward. So, like, yeah, you can definitely dive over obstacles and perform an action, but if you don't get all the way over, it might be worse for you. I mean, you won't be shooting, which was probably your objective.
Yeah. And that's I've been referring to them as angry obstacles because they seem much more impactful all around. Even the asteroids, which were generally considered the most impactful of the obstacles, even they are getting angrier in the
a lot of people are pointing towards the range, the bumping into friendlies, but also the obstacles as being more punishing and less friendly for new players. But I say maybe, but the thing that's better for new player, they're easier to teach. I know it's hard for us getting used to new effects, but because those effects are more streamlined, the effect and the dice roll and the same results on all obstacles, and you don't have to think about which obstacles you can and can't shoot from, that streamline helps teach the game.
Right. I have a question about feedback ping with obstacles, which is a really specific question. But I think the short answer is feedback ping is after you execute the maneuver. We don't have the written rules in a document for the new obstacles yet. So all of this is subject to change, but currently obstacle effects happen while you're executing the maneuver. So they would all happen first before any of the after you execute the maneuver.
Okay. Well, how are we feeling about this engagement? Because Wonny is sticking together down at the bottom. He's all facing the same direction. Looks like he's going to engage Jag and Ahsoka here. But then Republic is sort of sweeping in from different directions.
Yeah, they're going to get this. Obi-Wan's going to get his flank off, most likely. The thing that I like the most about it is that Heff is positioned to do Heff things next turn, and I think it's going to be hard for the Republic to avoid Heff and also still have their guns on the Rebels. These two ships that are at the bottom here.
All right, 7B Jedi, range 3, 3v3 into Luke from Obi.
It's Thane, I think.
Oh, Thane. Oh, sorry. We just came out of a Luke game, right? So now I'm used to calling the T-70, the lone T-70 Luke. No, this is the other I-5. Takes 2 shields. Wishing he had that force.
Down for Thane.
Ooh, there's a pole. Tractor beam rule change. What's more fun? Tractor on obstacles. No tractor on obstacles. Yes tractor, raise points. No tractor, raise points. No tractor, lower points. Boy, that's complex.
That's a lot of words. Where is this poll?
It's the Twitch poll. It's a prediction, I guess. Yeah, I would imagine the tractor beam changes are because obstacles are a lot more different, and because all obstacles can deny shots and have more severe consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine that's why they changed tractor. Hopefully that just means that tractor abilities and quad jumpers and tractor beams get to come down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where you go with it, because I don't think you can undo the rotate unless you're like completely eating ensnare. So I think the rotate has to stay, and I think that you have to keep you have to institute the no tractoring onto obstacles, since that obstacles are much angrier now, so that's much more impactful. So I think you just kind of maybe make the things that rely on tractors a lot a little less expensive. Maybe tractor beam becomes one of the cheaper cannons. I think it's 4 points right now, so maybe that comes down a little bit. Maybe those low initiative quad jumpers come down a little bit. Right now, all the quad jumpers cost the same amount of points.
Yeah, I kind of love that about them.
Me too, but I think that with the rules changes, like, you can no longer guarantee that the Jakku Gunrunner is going to go first and put somebody onto a rock, you know? So maybe they have to come down a little bit. I'm not sure that Zuvio needs to come down. But we'll see. And yeah, I think probably ensnare comes down a bit. How much would depend on the intricacies of how the pinpoint tractor array is going to work and whatnot. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know.
Yes. Yeah, that's what Mike was talking about, all quad jumpers being the same price, but now that you're probably valuing the I1 tractor less with the new changes.
Yeah.
Because previously, the way it is currently, there's reason to take all of them, but the new changes have sort of negated some of the advantage of the I1 Jakku Gunrunner.
Yeah. And that's basically where I was going. I didn't say that. Thank you for putting it.
I'm just repeating it. I think
thank you for
Ryan
putting
just
it
wasn't here.
Yeah, the value of the guaranteed tractor, quote unquote, from the Initiative 1 Jakku Gunrunner comes down in a bit, I think. You can no longer guarantee to put somebody on the rock, which is the most consequential thing that the Gunrunner could do, I think.
All right.
I would like to see Ada's get the cannon slot back. So this is a little bit out of left field, but I'm really hoping for a restricted list that can take care of some like specific tricky interactions, like auto blasters on an Ada, and so we can get some of our slots back. Because I really like a nice, well-seasoned tractor beam Shakti. Nice little I4 support piece.
Okay. Can just ban auto blasters from Republic. I wonder if they would go that granular to ban per faction.
I mean, that's if you banned auto blasters from Adas at this point, then you ban them from Republic. So unless I'm forgetting about some forgotten Republic ship that has a cannon slot.
So both players rolling a crit, but it was an eyeball there for Cory, so they are player 1. Here's the K2SO calculate. Looks like Heff did use elusive last turn in his defense, but it did not help him too much. Took 2 shields. That's what that spent charge is by his base. Jake, who are you gonna help?
It's vectored. Right.
Oh, vectored cannon, Jake. I didn't see that either.
Mm-hmm.
System phase. Gotcha.
Yep. So I've thought about the interaction with K2 and Jake before, but it was in the context of putting K2 on a higher initiative ship, and then you would put Vector on Jake so that he can do his boost before K2 and give somebody a focus. And also use K2.
Okay.
But Heff is a lower initiative, so K2 has to come before Jake can hand out his focus action.
Gotcha.
In the system phase.
So Heff moves up and takes a target lock. Ooh,
and he gets the block.
So here's the block. We
Here's
are going to see
dream.
The red focus for Jag.
It is who is first player? Okay, so Jag is the first player. So Heff could theoretically jam that off if he wanted to.
Ooh, yeah, he could use K2. Oh, man. If Heff becomes some kind of god in 2.5, I'm going to say AMG did the right thing. Is the timing correct? Oh, does the red focus come before Heff? Do they perform an action before... Or, yeah, do they get the red focus? After you execute the maneuver, yes. So he would jam Jag and then... Because if Heff jammed Jag, then Jag would not want to take a red token. Right?
Yeah, if Heff was going first.
So who does
Heff did not go first. Jag was going first because the Republic was first player.
Oh, okay, so it was the same timing. And it went to player order. Okay.
Yes, as far as I can tell, the red focus action has that after you partially execute a maneuver action or timing.
Yeah.
So it should fall under the same timing window as every after the maneuver ability.
So let's just give that caveat that yes, we are making some assumptions and assuming some language.
That is an assumption.
Yeah.
That I'm going to classify as my best guess as to how it's going to work.
Yeah. But yeah, glad to see Heff get to use his ability. Well done. Jake with the 2 bank. Daniel says we tune into Hexile Gaming for the guesses. All right, guesses and guests. That's what you're here for. Oh boy, I hope Luke's not touching that.
It's going to be tight.
Oddball. 2 banking. What do you think of the color of that oddball base?
It's very scummy.
Yes. Is that an olive drab or is that like a vomit green?
Yes. Let's call it a split pea soup. How about that?
Ooh, I don't know that I've ever had that. Is it real?
Is split pea soup real?
Yeah.
Is that a question that I'm being asked? Is that as an official Hexile judge here?
Yes. Can you rule on split pea soup? Has anybody ever
the reality of split pea soup? Yes, split pea soup is real. Ooh, we have an obstacle overlap.
Oh snap! Okay, so automatic strain, break all locks, and all locks that you have, and then roll. Ooh, we got an ionized Aether Sprite,
which means that he can't roll off of it
Oh, he's ionized. He cannot use fine-tuned controls. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. So that's going to be no shot.
Oh, and you can't shoot.
No action. Not that, well, nobody's going to shoot him, so I guess the no action doesn't matter. Oh, that's our first angry obstacle overlap, I think.
All right.
But with that strain and the ion is going to come a blue maneuver that will clear the strain, assuming that he does not get shot here. It's an interesting maneuver for Thane.
Ooh. Daniel asking, do you think collision detector will go up?
An ablative. Maybe. I mean, those will have... with obstacles getting angrier, collision detector's value will go up.
I kind of... If collision detector was going to go up, I would hope that it was like base size dependent, because I always think of collision detector as a way to make lambdas less terrible.
Or an upsilon, maybe.
Yeah. But I, like, specifically, in my mind, I don't know if it's even true that it came out with the lambda, but I always think of it as like, my god, it's hard to get these very immovable large bases around this mat.
Yeah. I kind of wish that you could do it by both base size and also like repositions. Like if your ship has boost and barrel roll, whatever, just deal with it. Like it should be for those large base ships that can't do anything about where they're going.
Yeah.
Aside from just dial something and pray.
All right, we're getting our first ion torpedo from Hera.
Ooh.
There's no fire control on her. Spins the lock, so not going to do the double tap.
I was really trying to make sure you got the...
Oh, the double ion tokens.
The ion,
yeah.
Let's get it.
Also, sorry, let's take this last shield.
Which makes me think that there is a rotate in our future.
Jag. After friendly ship at range 1 to 2 in your side arcs defends, you may acquire a lock on the attacker. Great way to get around that is to just shoot Jag.
There you go.
Here's an ion missile. Oh! From Oddball.
Oddball's over there.
Yikes. Was that unobstructed?
Yeah.
Obstructed range 3.
Parallel, I think. He had an unobstructed parallel.
Gotcha.
So Heff will avoid becoming ionized. Just take the 1 token.
You know what it was? The K2SO calculate. Thank you.
Beautiful. Insert snarky comment here. Oof.
Hit it, crit. 1 evade. This was Thane's shot. The crit is fuel leak on Oddball. Still above half for now. Just, guys, don't kill Oddball. We need him around for Hera.
Pat said dash banned in the chat. Technically, yes. Dash will not be legal in standard.
Yeah. Oh, they were
aim your
checking to see
sidearm
if...
at range 1 to 2, right? Because it's never just one restriction with the Republic. There's always an entire paragraph full of
Are
restrictions.
you salty, dude?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So they did check to see if Oddball was in range 2 of Jag to trigger the ability, but was not. Jake shoots into Jag, strips that last shield. All right, he is a prime candidate now for Hera's special attacks. The problem is Hera's getting so close that she won't be able to use any special attacks.
That's true. Synced Cannon is...
and Ion.
2, right?
They're both 2 to 3. So we know where Jag's going to be. He's doing a 1 forward. How do you get far enough away and turned around, or with your arc, to shoot Jag at 2 to 3?
You just do a 1 straight and then have Heff stop.
Heff stay there? Okay. I'm down. 4 hits. Now, remember, folks, this is all in service of triggering Sabine Gunner. This is a bounty match. We're not talking about what you need to do to win. That is part of the what you need to collect on a bounty. But the most important thing is trigger the ability. Oh boy, Heff Tobber. Oh boy,
Ooh.
Down to 1.
Oh, or maybe it's not going to work after all. Oh, that jam. That jam coming in handy.
Whew. Gonna take that range 0 attack. So it'll be your primary 3 dice versus 1. 2 hits. Takes 2 on Jag. Leave some for Hera.
So Obi being on the rock there is on the rock. On the rock, he said. It was a gas cloud. It was like he hit a rock. Really consequential because that's a missing shot. Could have been half points into Thane. If he's got range to Heff, it could have taken Heff off the board. I don't know if he has range to Heff, though.
So, discussion in the chat about how to keep Heff here. You don't need to stop, right? Because you could just 1 forward into Jag.
That's correct.
One person said,
I think you
take your red focus. Another person said, just wait for Jag to bump into you and you can get a white focus. So, you may just opt not to take that red focus and then use Heff's ability.
All fair. All reasonable things to do. I'm just wondering if Heff wants to adjust where his firing arc is pointed. He's on 1 hull. So maybe he does just want to take the bump so he can jam again. So maybe he just does a 1 forward and doesn't perform an action so he can jam.
So I think one of the distinctions that was made in the AMG stream is what happens when, let's say Ahsoka dialed in a 3 forward in this position. Her template goes all the way through and then under Heff, right? If Heff wasn't there, she would have completed. So what happens in that? So if you bump into Jag, but your in position would have been under Heff, what happens there?
So if you would overlap both a friendly... Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what's going on here. So the end position is what matters for determining who you overlapped.
Mm-hmm.
So in the scenario that you described, Ahsoka would have overlapped just Heff, which means that you would resolve it like it was an
enemy ship?
Into Heff, yeah.
Okay.
Coming into an enemy ship. But if she dials in like a 2 straight, for example, so she's overlapping both Oddball and Jag with what would have been her final position, then you resolve it like it's a friendly bump.
Gotcha. So we can't just completely get rid of marking and train tracking.
No.
Because we
I do
have to pay
wonder if they're
attention.
going to find a way to streamline that. I'm sure that it's that complicated because they tried more streamlined versions and they just weren't satisfied with. They weren't satisfied with the level of consequences when you bump a friendly or the level of consequences when you bump an enemy. I'm sure that they're wanting to discourage self-bumping friendly ships and just taking a red action because that would be pretty bad, right? Like,
yeah,
I think we can all agree that if you could just self-bump a friendly ship and take a red action, that would be
that's even stronger than it was before, right?
Yeah.
Psionic Rain, I got you. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like work backwards from where they wound up to try to figure out where they started. My guess is that they wanted to give the mods if you get blocked, but quickly realized that you can't really do that because it's too easy to abuse if you can control when you bump your friendly ships.
There you go. Thank you for your patronage. Here is the road roll.
Ooh.
Hitting eyeball.
Almost a crit. Wonny there.
So that is Cory, who's going to continue to be player one.
K2 being used for Hera here. Which means that he's probably not just doing that one straight with Heff, because if he was, he might have given that Heff instead. Or maybe he wants to give a focus to Heff.
All right, Heff gets out of there. Ooh, gonna K2SO jam.
Yeah, he's he set up Jake to get that block on Jag. Right, and that's what they're having the discussion about. Ooh, interesting. Sorry, lots of things happening.
Ooh, there's the red focus, gets jammed. What? Well, why would you bother? Because the jam was already there. Why would you bother doing the red action?
Yeah, there's not. It's not helping you. And she needs to fully execute to use her ability, right? Yes, she needs to fully execute the maneuver to use her ability. Yeah, I think they worked it out. Right.
Oh,
This is.
Is it showing up? I might need to go into like the Game Master mode.
There we go.
So it would bump Jake.
So the part that we're going to have to figure out.
Yeah. And we do have that in the rules.
Okay.
Overlapping. When determining which ship is overlapped, players should check the final position of the ship at the end of the maneuver template, which may be different from the ship at range 0.
Just trying to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Yeah. This is going to happen a lot.
Yep, we're still trying to make sure that everything runs smoothly. TTS is not yet set up for these circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to require some sort of de facto figuring things out.
I think that's something that Vassal did, which it would show you where the ship would end up, and it would flash the two ships that are conflicting, and then move you back.
Yep.
Keep you in your position.
It would do that.
Yeah. Glad to not be there. I'm just remembering that there was something sort of like that in the past.
Mm-hmm. So Jake is also an enemy bump, which means that he can
Oh boy, that's personal. So we're figuring out where Jake bumped. So he bumped into Jag. Yeah. Because that's what you would do in the real game, right? Is you would put the template down and then take your ship, go to the end position, and see if you can place it. And you would say, I can't place it here because of Jag, even though you end up being range 0 of Ahsoka.
Right. So, I mean, in practice, it should be pretty easy to determine who you're overlapping. It's just going to be like remembering what all of the consequences are is going to take a little bit of work, I think.
Yeah. It's worse than bumping now.
It's arguable.
I mean, but yes, probably, but that's probably the point. Right? Like, it seems like a lot of these changes are, you need to be better at maneuvering. Mechanically, no, I mean, it's still, you still have to take out your templates and mark and train track and all that stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm just saying that it should be pretty clear on the table when you're doing this. On a table in real life, it should be pretty clear whether it's a friendly bump or an enemy bump or a double. And it's just a question of remembering what all the different consequences are, which I think shouldn't take too long for most people to figure out.
So Paul says you don't have to now. I mean, you're supposed to. If you can tell where your template is going to end up without marking, then you'll already have the same information. You'll have the information you need, right?
I think you'll have plenty of instances like it is now where it's just perfectly obvious.
If you need to mark ships and get things out of the way and place the template and all that, then that means you weren't sure where it was going to end up. You weren't sure where the bump was going to be. So you would have had to do that anyway. Thane with the... Oh, did he bump? Yeah, he bumped into Oddball, took the red focus.
All right. Ooh, I don't know if Hera can roll out of Jag's firing arc there. She's in a B-wing, right? She's a big girl. She can handle it. Do you lock Oddball here and go for the dream? Well, she's going to lock Jag and try to get him off the board. So, not too worried about that Ahsoka Gunner trigger yet.
We're forced to wait again. It's fine. Hera, just stay alive long enough to use your ability, or the gunner. Here we go. Range 1 into Jag.
Ooh. And Jag is going to live on 1. Thanks to that evade. Yeah, Daniel, I think that has a lot to do with us trying to make sure that we all understand. We're all on the same page about just what the rules are.
Yeah.
We'll get into the swim of it. We'll figure it out. Everything's going to be messy the first couple of times you do it.
And like we're making rules on the fly. Like that will when we know them, it'll be a little easier. Oddball, primary. 2v2.5, maybe? He doesn't have a lock there. Oh, 3 dice. So this is an ion missile. Okay. So 1 damage and an ion. Ooh, Heff's getting awful close to that board edge. Oh, no, he's dead. He's on 1, right? Yeah. Okay.
He'll never reach the board edge, Scott. He's never going to get there.
You know what? I'm just glad we got to see the bump into K2SO.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful thing. I love that Heff range 0. Oh, you got your red focus? Well, I'm just going to jam it right off. How about that?
Here's Obi-Wan. 3 hits. Oh, snap. Blank focus. Is that Thane? Ooh, Thane using his red focus to mod his defense dice.
It shouldn't have been a red focus. Yeah, he did a...
He bumped into Oddball.
Yeah, but he did a Tano. He got the focus from Jake in the system space. So
oh. That's me not paying attention.
I mean, you gotta... Oh, he's thinking about shooting Oddball to try and expose a damage card.
Oh,
I was like, why would you shoot Oddball?
That's interesting.
No, but he can't.
He can't spend.
Yeah. He can't spend. So he wouldn't be able to use his ability anyway.
Not interesting. I take it back.
less interesting now that we've thought about it a little bit.
Seeing if he can grab Hera's lock. He cannot. Would he spend that focus? Because there's damage cards on Jag, right? Is that how his ability works?
Yeah. I would. I mean, if he doesn't have a focus token, so you definitely spend it, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of a missed opportunity there, or is he? Oh, he's thinking about it. Looks like he's doing it anyway.
Yeah, stunned pilot. Well, Jag's like, whatever, dude. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Stun pilots. Nobody's gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, like it was already a crit that was like an empty crit, and people didn't care about it. Now they're like, I am staying so far away from those obstacles. This is even less important. This might as well be face down.
Imagine taking 3 damage from an obstacle.
Oh no. An obstacle that can't cause crit damage. Taking 3 damage from it. Oh boy. Trail mix all around, but it'll be 1 hit.
Average
1 of
dice for everybody. Alright, so the medium base ships have been cleared from the board with extreme prejudice.
Wow, the synergy continues. So let's see if I've got all the damage correct. Jag is gone. That was incorrect. Oddball on 3. Obi and Ahsoka untouched. Hera's fine. Thane on 2. And Jake's fine. Cool.
It's always going to be in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
We're getting some opinions in the chat here, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to like the changes.
And
you
one
don't
thing
have
I
to
will
dislike
say
them either.
is I was very pessimistic about most of the changes that AMG made when they first came out, and now I've grown to love them for the most part. And so I think that has made me an optimist for these changes, and it has allowed me to have an outlook that is optimistic and gives them the benefit of the doubt. I don't begrudge anybody who has problems with the changes, but
Agreed.
That's just why I'm here, because I've come to love everything, and I don't want to go back to the way things were. And
yeah,
so
I cannot imagine going back to bids at this point.
Yeah. Bids.
Trying to revert it all the way back to the point where we had bids just sounds absolutely terrible to me. I definitely rather do random after dials or just plain old random player order.
Yeah.
Are both a lot better to me. I didn't realize how worried I was going into the AMG stream last week until they actually started talking and allayed the biggest fear that I had, which was that I was worried that they were going to make blocking and bumping completely inconsequential.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people
think
thought
that they definitely have not done that.
A lot of people, when those proposed changes came out, people were like, they're making X-Wing dumb. Why would they make this beautiful, complex game so simple? Mm-hmm. And that is not what happened. I would not say this is a more dumb game.
I do think that they need to work on their communication, because part of the problem is that they just kind of teased a little bit by talking about I think they just kind of mentioned performing a red focus at range when you bump and attacking at range 0, and that's all that they said because the rules weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been a bit of a mistake because then people assumed that was going to be the rule in its entirety.
Yeah.
And I mean, I frankly was apparently a little bit worried because I was clenching a little bit going into that stream. So I definitely would like to see AMG get better in the communication department in the way that they talk about these rules. I would really like them to, when they have a stream like they did last Thursday, I would really like them to publish a document that covers, in their words, the talking points that they wanted to go over.
Right.
That we don't have to compile it as a community, so that there's something that's easy to share with people. There's a lot of things that I'd like to see, but my immediate fears about what the rules changes were going to be, I think they did a really good job of laying them. I was really surprised by the new obstacle rules. Those kind of came out of left field a little bit for me, and I really like them. I think that the obstacles should be consequential and have a big impact on the game, and I like that they're getting angrier. I really do.
And I mean, I said it before, but I love risk reward. It is almost always good for me when a developer says risk reward. I like when they talk about possibly strategically going over gas clouds to break locks, keeping your action after you go all the way over them. One of the most impactful plays I've ever seen on me was that quick draw play, going over a rock, taking the damage, and getting your shot, and like increasing chances for things like that to happen make me so excited. All right, Ahsoka with the sloop.
I think that's something that I've heard a lot from all corners. Whether you're for the changes, you're neutral, you're against the changes. I think everybody would like just a little bit more clarity in the way that the changes are communicated, the way that they get the information out to the community. I like the streams. I like watching them play. I like listening to them talk about the game. But I don't think it's a great way to communicate information.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think there's an element of like being casual and hanging out and talking about where you think your game's going to go and stuff. And it's like, I don't...
No, that'd be... Yeah. And that's great. I actually really like that about the stream. And I would keep continuing to watch their streams for that. I want the article or the infographic or whatever you want to call it to come with it, so that we don't have to like watch the stream over and over again. Because I'm going to have to watch the stream at least a couple more times.
Yeah. Hopefully
try and
when
catch
they get a
everything
website,
that they said about the changes.
Hopefully when they get a website, we will start getting that stuff.
Yeah.
A real website. They have one now, but look, it's not ready. It's not ready for prime time.
No, it's not ready. No, it's not ready. That probably the top thing on my wish list is we have another red focus after bumping here.
Yeah. Luke blocks Oddball. Oddball takes a focus. Oh. Is it a red action, or is it an action that you then take a stress from? Because that's important for Oddball's ability, right?
It is a red action. So Oddball's ability should trigger here. It's his ability, and very importantly, Oddball's ability is not an action.
It's weird where we're finding these
that's a cool interaction.
These edge cases where it's benefiting ships and it's not really the ships I would think about it. Like, Oddball could be better? Okay. Braylon and Tindom might be better? Alright.
The way that we're understanding the rules, Oddball is absolutely fantastic. Because all you have to do is bump and perform that red focus action. Free target
but again,
lock.
That distinction...
Your target lock is on a ship at range 0, which is not usable.
That is
for that round.
A distinction that we are making, right? That is an interpretation here. That could change.
Yeah.
It could be a focus and then take a stress.
I was excited for about 15 seconds, then I remembered that you can't modify shots at range 0 anyway. So he gets a free target lock for a future round.
I'm okay with that.
So not Godball. Sorry, still mostly just Oddball.
Hey, here's a ion torpedo into Obi, and I think Hera is deciding: do I care to mod this, or should I just move on to the sync laser?
Oh boy, I think you just shoot the sync laser now.
One evade, spends the lock. Here comes the bonus attack, sync laser.
No more calculate from K2SO though. Not that it matters. That bonus to be had anyway.
I literally did not put together that the.
I didn't either until just
the
now.
calculate.
I was like, oh, where's the calculate?
I almost said, and there's no calculate here for the range denial, but one, it's at range 2, so you wouldn't get it anyway. But 2, I forgot about the fact that you could have gotten it in the past from Heff.
I'm just going to keep getting whiplash from all of these spicy hot takes and then realizing it doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this red focus breaks everything. No, wait, no. It's fine.
But that's why I'm excited. Like, I like picking this thing apart and solving this puzzle, and yeah, it's invigorating.
It is. I'm pretty excited just to have that kind of new puzzle solve.
Oddball's gonna take the range 0 shot.
Let's go.
3v2. 2v2, I mean. I'm still getting used to that. Was that better than shooting Hera? I guess it would have been a 2v2 into Hera where you could have spent your focus. Alright, Hera down to 1 shield. Could have had her on half points, potentially, if Oddball had shot through there.
No obstructions here.
Ahsoka. Target lock. Spins the force point for 3. How's Thane doing? Got 2 left. But
It's
for how long?
pain.
Oh no! Oh
no! Heroic.
Oh, Thane. Goodbye, sweet prince. At least we got to... We rolled things back a little bit. We got to see the exposed damage on Jag.
Oh, this is going to be real tough now. Jake's got vector thrusters, so he's not going to be passing a focus to Hera this turn. Headed in the wrong direction. Wouldn't have been able to anyway.
All right. Now what's important is how do we get Sabine Gunner to trigger here? Hera's facing probably the wrong direction. I imagine Obi and Ahsoka are going to move past her. Jake can't help you.
Man, I do think that you really got to find room for fire control system.
Yeah.
In this list. Hera just likes it so much, but I think it's really important for if you want to double tap with the B-Wing, unless you're Braylon, you really need that fire control to give you the reroll on the first attack. It's just there's just so many different ways to use fire control with Hera in a double tap. You know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can manipulate the stress. Like the B-Wings are going to have a fun time. The I-4 B-Wings are going to have a fun time with it. AP5 is going to be worth bringing. The Resistance Falcon title, it lets you not worry about the stress the following turn. And Corsella, so you can bump into somebody, get your focus, and then sloop in behind them afterwards.
Corsella wouldn't do that, right? The Falcon title would.
Yeah, it's the Falcon title that lets you do that. And then Corsella lets you release... what's the word I'm looking for? And why can't I find it?
Relieve stress?
Relieve. That's the word I was looking for. I was trying to get the S from stress in there, and I was like, release? No, I don't think
you can release the stress too.
Looking for here.
Hey, as long as that token goes away, I don't care how you do it.
you don't care what method we're using to release that stress.
Correct. Ahsoka. Banks in here. Thinking about using her ability. I've gotten too used to Rebel Ahsoka. I have to keep checking how many force points is it, and who can get the action, what's the range.
Sweet 5K coming.
Oh, is that safe?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Well, if you're even with the obstacles, if you're even with the obstacles directly facing the board edge, you can 4K. He's a little bit behind the obstacles there.
Jake?
So it should be close, but should fit.
With the 2-turn. Did he do a system phase maneuver?
Yeah, he did the rotate out.
Oh, yeah. When you say rotato, I think of there's a snack called the tornado potato. It's like a spiral cut potato that has got a stick in it and it's fried. And that's what I think of. I hope you're doing the same. Oh, you were right.
Like a glove.
So much room. You could build a house there between Obi-Wan and the
you could live in all that space between Obi and the board edge.
Chip on a stick, is that what it is? Okay, I think there's a bar here that serves them, and they call them the tornado potato, but I'm sure they've got other names. Chip on a stick sounds great.
I think you can not rotate. I think you can roll here and avoid the shot from oddball, but I'm not sure.
You know what I was just thinking of is if this was Netrum, you could barrel roll and then rotate.
Netrum OP,
guys. When you're building your standard lists in Rebels, just start with Netrum Polar.
It's so easy. So easy. It's like free MOV.
Not for your opponent. Let's just make that distinction.
What is deficit scoring? It's a question in the chat. Deficit scoring is if you don't build to 200, if you have a bid of any kind, that bid is immediately scored by your opponent. At the start of the game, basically, or at the end of the game, whatever. And points automatically go to your opponent, any bid points that you have.
Yeah. Build to 200, or your opponent gets those points. Hit it, crit. Oh no. Fuel leak. No problem. Cody, welcome.
Dreaded blank eyeball attack from an A-Wing shooting out the rear. Brings back memories.
No.
A more innocent time.
No! Daniel, that sounds amazing.
Oof. Man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, Scott.
Oh.
Blood.
Oh, hold on now. We got 8 minutes left, then it's snack time. So right now, it is an 86-point lead for Cory. Can Wonny... Where are these points hiding? It's 67 for Obi, 55 for Ahsoka.
He's not really close to scoring any points except on Oddball, and Oddball is like... doesn't have any points. Jake is headed in the wrong direction. There's no mods on the table for Hera, so if she does the talent roll or the catering here, she's firing an unmodded shot. Things not looking great for the Rebels here, I think.
No. Wonny's doing a good job of being quick on the dials. He knows the time is against him. Cory does not feel that pressure. He's also got more dials.
Do you have any delicious holiday meals planned for the upcoming week?
Oh, Michael, I have made 2 cookie doughs.
Ooh.
I have. Hold on, I don't know how to pronounce this, so let me look up this.
It's pronounced meatloaf.
Pfeffernuss, which are pepper nuts. They are a spice cookie. They are little round balls that are then, at least in the recipe I'm following, then dipped in some icing. But yeah, they're kind of like a little soft gingerbread. They're spicy like that. I have also made a gingerbread batter. Both of those are chilling in my fridge. And then tonight or tomorrow I'll make my Zimtstern, my almond cookies. Maybe I'll make them look like crits. Because they're supposed to be shaped like stars. So, go all the way.
I do enjoy, as I've talked about this before, but I love some molasses cookies. Gingerbread and molasses cookies are pretty similar flavor profiles, so
I did.
I like that.
I actually bought molasses last night, and then I went to make my dough and realized I still had the molasses from last year, because that's the only thing I use it for. Yeah.
Love a good molasses cookie.
Wookie, I apologize for my pronunciation, but yes, those German almond stars are not only great, but they are very light, and if there's anybody who's got a gluten allergy, they are gluten-free, because you use almond flour instead of regular flour.
Nice.
But the peppernuss, those little spice cookies, use honey instead of molasses, but I think they're going to have a similar profile to what you like.
Super jealous.
I've never made these before, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out. All right, we are done activating. How did Hera get turned around? I thought she was... I guess she did relieve the stress.
Yeah, she... Oh, boy.
One hit. Oh, no. Oddball. Oh, no.
All right, that is an awake toddler.
Oh, all right. Does that mean you need to
Yes.
go
That
attend
means
to that?
our
Okay.
time together has come to an end.
Well, it was very well timed. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mike, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of
Thank you
your
for having
Sunday.
me.
All right.
You too. Bye, chat.
Hera is dead. You know what? I think Mike's child knew this game was coming to an end. Oh no. The disrespect if you're in the stream room and one of the commentators leaves before the game is over. Oh no. Wonny, we love you. We've not given up on you. Wonny, I just want you to know Mike's child woke up. He is not... Don't take his leaving as any sign of what he thinks about the game. It's not you, it's him. Okay?
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Here's the shot into Jake. It's been that target lock on the blank. Spin the focus for 3 hits. Oh no. Oh no. Jake takes 2. That's even more points. Yeah, Wonny says GG. GG! Congratulations, Cory! Thank you very much, Wonny. Thank you again, Mike, for hanging out with us. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That'll do it for this match. Until next time, this is Scott from Hexcelled Gaming, signing off.